Makes you feel good. Okay? What do you, when you feel good, what is that?
I know there's.
This is getting hard, right?
I know there's a chemical reaction going on in endorphins. And
Fun is a chemical reaction in your brain. So I'll start with this. You have a group of neurons in the reward center of your brain, the limbic system. We'll talk about this here shortly. That make you feel good, right? Makes what you're doing fun. It doesn't matter if it's reading. It doesn't matter if it's walking, running. You've heard of the runner's high. That's the endorphins, all that good stuff. That's a dopamine dump in your brain. When I say dopamine, dopamine is a neurotransmitter. It's going to be these little balls right here. All right. That's what I use to communicate with you. Okay. Now here's the thing. This is and it's very. I'm going to try to simplify something that's very, very complicated. But I'm a neuron and you're a neuron. Your job, if you get excited, then you feel that sense of euphoria. That's fun. You're doing something and you have to feel that's fun. You're having fun. You're feeling good about yourself, right? But you can't sense what's happening in the outside world. All you do is, if I'm excited, I make you feel euphoria, right? If I don't, you don't feel euphoria. That's all you got. I can't make you feel euphoria. I'm a dopamine producing cell, but what I'm doing is watching and seeing what's happening and listening to other cells, and other cells are saying, hey, we're running, right? Running is good for us, okay? Your brain is trying to encourage you to do two things: survive and pass your genes to the next generation. That's it, okay? Not necessarily in that order either, right? That's it. That is, your brain is very primitive, okay? We think that we control our brains, but we don't. Really, our brains control us, okay? And if you do things that are good for your survival, like eat food, or if you procreate, or those types of things, you get a good job. We're going to make you feel good about what you just did because we want to reinforce that behavior. And we're going to give you a little bit of dopamine, right? I'm going to send some dopamine to you and you're going to catch it. Ready? You sure?
Yeah.
Too easy, right? You catch the dopamine and you get happy and you smile. When that happens to you, the whole body feels good. We're having fun. So throw it back. All right, so when you're done, you throw it back. That's how that works. You do something else that's fun. Let's say if it was me and I'm mountain climbing, all right? And I get to the top of the mountain and I'm there and I finally summit. I'm like, yes, right? My body's like, good job, you're exercising. That helps us to survive, right? Have a little bit of dopamine, good job. Throw it back, all right? Now, in that pathway, drugs corrupt that very same pathway, okay? That's a problem, all right? That's a problem in that limbic system. So what happens with drugs, instead of a little dopamine, you get a lot of dopamine, okay? And so it's kind of like having a little guy saying, hey, give a little bit of dopamine, and the drug is a big 800-pound gorilla that's like, dopamine! Right? Dopamine! Dopamine! All right? That's how that system works. Well, the first time, that's great, right? That's all funny and we laugh and you have a good time. You're like, I got lots of dopamine, I'm crazy, I feel great. That's what a high is. It's the same thing as you climbing the mountain, you get to the top and thinking, oh, that feels so great. It's the same thing as you walking and it makes you feel good about what you're doing, or the runner's high. It's that sense of euphoria, right? A high with marijuana, a high with heroin or whatever is the same. All drugs of abuse take over that reward pathway and dump dopamine. Guys, if it didn't feel good, if it wasn't fun for the people doing it, guess what? They wouldn't do it. We wouldn't have a drug problem, right? Okay? If walking wasn't fun, would you do it?
No.
No. Right? What do you like to do?
Work out at the gym.
Work out at the gym. If that sucked, would you do it?
No.
No. We do the things that make us feel good. Okay? We do the things that make us feel good. And so drug use, when you do it, it makes you feel good. That's the whole point of it. You get high. That's what that high is, except you're getting a lot of dopamine. And so you're really overstimulated. You and all of your buddy cells that are involved in us feeling good, you really get overstimulated. Okay? There's a problem with that. Our brains were not designed to take on that much dopamine. Okay? So let's say you and I, we're going to play this game where I throw a bunch of ping pong balls at you, and we'll do it over and over and over again. Okay? After the third or fourth time, it's not fun anymore, is it? Kind of gets old. Well, the same thing happens in your brain. Downstream of me, where I'm throwing all this dopamine at these cells, what happens is those cells, they're like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Way too loud, way too much dopamine. I have to protect myself because I'm just getting stimulated and stimulated and stimulated. You're creating a chemical imbalance in your brain. And those cells will protect themselves from all that dopamine. Well, the way that you catch it, your hand, right? I'm throwing it to you. You and I don't touch as brain cells. I'm throwing you a chemical. You have receptors on your cell surface. They're specific for dopamine, and they catch the dopamine. And when they catch, you get excited. Okay, and then it releases it, and I take it back. All right. So what you do to turn the noise down, right, to protect yourself from all that dopamine, is you take those cell receptors and you say, "Whoop! I won't listen anymore. Okay, I'm not interested. It's too much."